morning, Mail-In crew. Welcome back to another edition of the Mail-In podcast. I am your host, Brett Merriman. To my right, Sally deFries, who is just thrilled to be here this morning. Hey, Sal.
I am thrilled to be here. I just, the baby
You're
is,
8.5 months pregnant.
the baby is moving a lot, and I think it just did a somersault in me.
Wow. A little gymnast.
Yeah.
You got cooking up in there.
It does not feel good.
No.
I'm not going to lie to you. So if I just pause, I think I mentioned this the other week, but if I just pause or stop talking.
If we're doing a BH over there.
With Braxton Hicks. I don't think I'm contracting, but I literally think it just fully turned in me.
That's crazy.
It's a wild, you'll never get to experience it, unfortunately, because you don't have a uterus.
No, I don't.
Sorry,
I was not
Brett and Randy.
Yeah. I was not blessed with the power of creation of life, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's very weird to feel a human moving inside of you.
I can't imagine, but it's kind of like, to me, that's really cool. And like, I'm very curious about all that stuff. It doesn't gross me out or weird. I'm like, that is awesome. Miracle of life.
It's cool, but it's like also uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's cool when it's not the person, like you're not the person it's happening to, I would imagine. But home stretch, right?
Home stretch.
Here we go.
Yeah.
You're excited?
You know what I'm more excited for? The rain we're having.
Oh.
And the Texas beat Alabama. So the world is healing.
Hook 'em.
All the things that I've wanted have come true the past week.
People are saying trap game against Wyoming, though.
I know.
Look out for those Cowboys. Beat Tech.
I know. So.
We'll see. You going to the game this weekend?
No.
Your husband has made a fun time out of going to Texas football games for like 20 minutes.
He's going this weekend, and it's supposed to be really nice, so he'll probably stay the whole time. But
that's good.
I think we both decided that it's not worth me having the baby at the game.
If you
lifetime
did,
Longhorn, but
if you did, it would be such a cool story, though.
Yeah, but
you would have to name it like Daryl or DKR or something. You know, you'd have to do something like that.
Daryl.
Daryl K. Royal. Or if it's a girl like who's a famous Texas girl? I don't know.
There's probably a bunch of
there's a bunch of track stars. I'm trying to think of something football adjacent, but
probably not girl wise, no.
Yeah. Tough.
Yeah.
Randy, you got anything?
You could just name it Earl either way.
Earl?
Earl Campbell.
Oh, there you go. Ricky?
Rickie's a girl name.
That's a cool girl name. I kind of I don't hate the idea of like a boy name for a girl.
Yeah.
We had
it's pretty big right now.
Shouts to the Carr sisters who, in growing up in Saratoga, they were Logan, Madison, and Tyler. All girls.
We've talked about this. You have to be a specific type of hot to pull that off, though.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you're a Logan, which I really love as a girl's name, you got to be hot, right? Like,
I think that's. I don't want to.
Do you think it's like a chicken egg
but
situation? Like you get named Logan or Sloan or something, and then you just become hot because your name is hot? Or do you think?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's if you.
It's like a nature nurture thing. You
Yeah.
like also have to grow into it, so you already exude hot energy because you have a hot.
100%. I kind of like the name Charlie, like Top Gun.
Yeah.
The instructor Charlie. I was like, if you are extremely attractive and your name's Charlie, like that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
You don't want to be like, probably Logan the girl's like not having an awkward teenage years.
No, she is like causing other girls to have the awkward teenage years. Not like in a mean way, but like what, how did she just skate by?
I have a friend who named her daughter Sloan, and like it's perfect because she's hot, her daughter's hot. I mean, it's weird calling a 2-year-old hot, but like
she's 2.
She'll be.
I thought she was like, I don't know.
No, she's
15,
she's not like a hot 2-year-old, but she's gonna be. She's a very beautiful 2-year-old who will be hot. You know.
Okay. I know what you mean. Yeah.
But her parents give off hot energy too, so you.
Just if you have like hot shouts to Hot Colin.
Hot Colin
and his wife, who's also very hot. Just
Hot Katie.
Chances are they're gonna have a good looking
What a
person.
great thing to be called. If someone calls you hot, you're just like, I don't even think I don't think I've ever been called hot in my life. So like I wouldn't even take that as like somebody like not complimenting me. You know, like I
Yeah.
think some people would be like, oh, that's kind of shallow. I'd be like, hell yeah. That's awesome.
Give me hot Sally.
I think in general, it's very hard to be called hot as a redhead. I think Prince Harry is probably
Hang
the
on
only
a
person
second.
that you can call hot as a redhead.
Hang on a second.
Because people call us like cute or like
Beautiful.
like,
so
oh, your
pretty.
skin tone is so beautiful. No one's
So
like
delicate.
you're just delicate. No one's like
The sun does
you're smoking hot
numbers for
because
you.
we're not like tan. You
No,
know?
we're not. We're never gonna get tall, dark, and handsome, Sally.
No,
Never.
we're
Not
not.
once.
Yeah. So I'm like I get. Would you call Isla Fisher hot?
Is that that's
Borat's wife?
Girl
Girl
no,
from
but you know
Wedding
who
Crashers?
what's Chastain?
Jessica Chastain.
She's hot.
See, I don't think
Hot.
so. I think she's just beautiful.
Huh. Okay. I'm trying to think of what other redheads would. No, Jessica Chastain. She
Back
is
in the
hot.
day when Prince Harry was dating Chelsea Davies, he was hot, but he was a prince. So it's like, is he hot because he's a prince, or is he hot because of his looks? Probably because he's a prince. You couldn't call him hot now. He's balding.
Oh, you know who I like? The girl in what's her name? Hold on, I have it pulled up right here. Amy Adams. Hot.
I again don't think so.
No, oh, man.
I think Isla Fisher's is as close as you get because she's got like in Wedding Crashers, she's got kind of like crazy girl energy.
Oh, of course. She's got like the crazy.
She's hot because she's crazy.
The crazy hot matrix, obviously.
Yeah.
The sliding scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess as redheads, we're never gonna get the traditional
Would you
hot
call
moniker.
Blake Griffin hot? But he's
Blake
half
Griffin?
black, half redhead.
I don't think he's a redhead, is he?
He is a redhead. His mom is a redhead.
Yeah, I guess he kind of is. No, he's not. He's not like a hot guy.
See, Blake Griffin used to be my hall pass.
Really?
Yeah. I saw him one
way.
time when we were both doing the hyperbaric oxygen chamber together in LA.
Okay.
And I got out of mine and
Mhm.
he was in the one next to me because you're like in this little tube.
Sure. Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, it's Blake Griffin. Because I was doing it in Beverly Hills when I was recovering
Shouts.
from my nose job.
Oh yeah.
People know.
Oh
that.
yeah. You got like a legit nose job.
And a lot of random celebrities and athletes would come in too because it was in Beverly Hills. So
Mm-hmm.
I had like seen a couple famous people, but I like you get in this little tube and then you watch TV for like 30 minutes or however long you're
Of course.
in the
Yeah.
thing. So I'm just watching friends like hanging out. And then I
Huh.
got out and I literally in the tube next to me was Blake Griffin. He was like recovering from some knee or shoulder injury or something. And I just stared at him and I was like, this is wild because this is my literal hall pass.
Like it could have been in that moment.
I mean, do you call someone a hall pass when you're not in a relationship? Because this was pre.
Oh, this was your single hall pass.
This is my single hall pass, and I was like, should I knock? I can't talk to him because
No.
he's enclosed in a glass tube. I'm like, should I knock on it and like wave and like wait for him in the lobby?
You were treating Blake Griffin like he was at an aquarium.
But
It was like a
also,
fish
I
tank.
had a cast on my nose, so it was like not going to go
Hi,
well.
Blake. Hi.
And
I'm
again,
Sally.
as we've established, he's not looking my way. I'm not hot, so it's like.
Oh, you are hot. Get out of here, Sally.
Okay, we've brought it full circle.
Full
Should we continue this episode?
Randy, any hot redheads you can think of?
Oh yeah, but they are stars in a different realm, so not gonna go into that.
Okay.
Anime and or cartoon characters, he means.
Jessica Rabbit is hot.
Kim Possible. Hot. And Daphne from Scooby-Doo. Right? She's a redhead. Yeah. Oh, big time crush.
I mean,
Yeah,
Jessica
sure, totally
Rabbit
met
is probably the
cartoons. Totally met cartoons.
the ultimate hot
yeah,
redhead.
that's
but
like
she's,
the one that's just it's almost too aggressive.
You get the vibe that her red is not natural. She's dyeing her hair red.
That's a popular thing now, right? Is to dye red a little bit.
That was like a thing last fall, I feel like.
to walk a mile in our shoes.
People just don't get it. If you don't spend decades being a ginger, you just are never going to understand.
Amen.
Should we start this episode?
Sure. We are the Mail-In Podcast. Let's answer some questions, help you out, get a laugh in maybe. Subscribe on iTunes, follow on Spotify, hit the hotline number 888-362-MAIL. That's 888-362-6245. Or you can write in at the link in the Twitter bio at Mail-In Podcast or in the description of this episode. A bunch of questions lately. Shouts to you guys. I have had hard time paring these down because there's like 50 questions every week now. This is awesome.
You're going to read the odds because there's the one later on that I don't want to read. It's
Deal.
too long.
Let's
So
start.
You go first.
Hey guys, speaking of baby stuff, my wife and I are expecting our first baby in January. Congratulations, guys. We're so excited and are also aware that our lives will be completely changed. And some aspects of raising a kid are going to wreck our proverbial shit. Is that well said?
Sure.
We're hearing a lot of our friends who are parents tell us, quote, just wait, in reference to absolutely anything. Just wait can mean you think you're not sure about baby stuff now? Just wait. Or you dare say you're tired without a baby? Just wait. How do you not verbally or physically backhand the just wait people? We know we're going to have our lives flipped upside down, but we're also so damn excited, and it's such a buzzkill to get met with some know-it-all negativity. How can we keep our cool and focus on our excitement? Sally, are you a just wait person?
No, because I got a lot of just wait to me. This bugged the shit out of Will with Fritz when we were pregnant with Fritz.
The just
First of
wait
all,
people.
congratulations. But second of all, and I think I've talked about this before, but there's something about pregnancy, children, really any life change, because it's same. We've talked about this too. When you're going through a wedding planning,
Mhm.
someone who's already had a wedding, probably me on this very
I was gonna
podcast,
say,
being
I'm gonna
like,
keep my mouth
"Oh, weddings
shut."
are stupid. Don't do them." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
And I fully stand by that comment, but I also fully understand that that is kind of a bitchy thing to say to someone who's like
In the throes of
spending
the
thousands
honey.
of dollars and hours of their life planning something.
Sure.
I think usually it's always coming with good intention, regardless of what is happening, whether it's your wedding or your kid or your long distance relationship or you're going back to grad school or whatever it is that someone's already done that they're trying to like warn you about.
Mhm.
That's what I had to remember. Like their intentions are good. They're not trying to be a dick on purpose. They're just trying to warn me of like what they did. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it got annoying. It really pissed me off when people be like, "Oh, you need to be sleeping now. You're not going to sleep later."
Of course. I mean, there's also the element of like, oh, I've been there. It's
Yeah.
like it's like people do that on a trip too. Like, oh, Positano, oh,
Yeah.
watch out. Or
People
like,
love ruining shit for other people.
or just telling them that, oh, I did that before you.
I did that
Yeah,
and it's
like,
not all it's cracked up to be,
Yeah.
or I did that and you have to do this.
Mhm.
And especially with parenting and especially with pregnancy, people get lots of opinions, even when they don't have kids themselves. Or if they have a kid, they like, I try to make sure that I'm like keeping myself in check when friends are asking for advice or
Mhm.
like recommendations on things, because there are things that I loved when we had a baby that I'm also realized that like as much as I think anybody and everyone should have a Duna car seat / stroller.
Thank you.
It's a car seat or it's a stroller that pops into a car seat.
Tight.
It's the best.
Yeah.
But that is not for everyone. And
Okay.
as much as I try to push that on everyone like I'm a freaking salesman for them, at the end of the day,
Non-spawn. If they want to, though, please let me know.
yeah, Duna, please let us know. At the end of the day, everyone's experience is different. So you have to really respect that. And I think once you've gone through it, especially if it bothered you, it makes you more cognizant of it for the next time. So because people were doing that to Will and I, when my friends got pregnant for the first time, I was really trying to just be like, okay, I'm going to be supportive. I'm
Mhm.
not going to say anything like,
Just wait.
just wait, or like the sleepless nights. Da, da, da. There truly is nothing, no amount of classes, conversations with friends, etc., that prepare you for the first 2 weeks of raising a human. Uh, I think I've already like forgotten about it, and I'm kind of terrified to go through it again.
Mhm.
But you also have to remember, like, millions of people, billions of people have been
Billions.
doing this.
That was exactly what I was about to say. Like, this has happened billions upon billions of times. Like, you're innately wired to figure it out,
Right. And I think the
with or without a
people
doona.
who are shocked, and who become the just wait people are the people who were really pushing against the change. I think for Will and I, and a lot of parents, it's like, I'm fully aware, like this listener, fully aware that having a baby is going to change my life.
Mhm.
But then it also, like, it just becomes like another thing you have. Like, it's not the end of the world to have a kid. You're not going to like kill your social life. You're not going to, like, we still go out and see friends.
Yeah.
There's like a little extra step of finding a babysitter, but it's like any new thing in life. It's like getting a new job or going back to school or whatever. You just adjust to it and keep going. And so, as much as it's really annoying for people to tell you, just wait, or God, your mother and your mother-in-law are gonna have so many freaking opinions about how you swaddle the baby, and we never did that, and we didn't care about whether you had screen time and da 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 da. Who cares? You will never find peace being a parent if you compare yourself to people on social media, to your friends, to your siblings. Like, Lily and I had kids at the same time.
Mhm.
And even we do a lot of the stuff the same, but even when we start comparing and I get like in my head about how she's raising her son versus how I'm raising my son, it's like, you do what works for you. You're probably a better parent than
Yeah.
your parents were to you. And like, you just let it be. I think,
It's easy to compare too, right?
yeah.
Like, it's so. I think about you and Lily. Like, how could you not?
Well,
And
we all live in a society where we just are constantly
yeah,
comparing ourselves
and
with other
half
people.
of it, or part of it is, I'm sure it's like, well, can I be doing something better? Or, oh, that's a good idea. Or like, oh, I disagree with that. Or there's so many, like, it's way too easy to, and you don't want to be in this isolated like lane of just doing it all yourself and no
Right.
help, and like, I'm right all the time, because it doesn't work like that. So I think about when you talked about the parents and the in-laws and the sisters and the people that have opinions. It's just, at some point you just do it.
Just shut them out
Yeah,
and just
you
know
just
that
do it.
you won't be that person either.
Mm-hmm.
Know that they really are. When your mom is telling you that, like, we never swaddled you or you slept on your backs or whatever,
It's like
just
there's also like
just
years upon years
know
of
that
research.
was 30 years ago,
A
and that
generation ago.
everyone has an opinion, and
Yeah.
their opinion might not be right. And you've got to start letting that stuff slide off, because
Mhm.
people are gonna. It starts with pregnancy. People have an opinion about how you're carrying your baby and how big you look and da da da, and commenting about your body unnecessarily. And then you have the baby, and everyone has a comment about everything. It's just better,
Mhm.
in general in life, it's better to just let shit slide off, and that's really hard to do.
Yeah. Let
It's
shit slide off.
just let it.
I like pretty much every question we do on this show, and I love doing this show, ends with like a 6-word
Just
just
let.
answer. Like,
Yeah.
communicate better. Let stuff go.
Yeah.
Uh uh talk to your partner. Like,
Right.
yeah.
But it's hard. We need constant reminders because we're human. And like, I probably, as I've
Mhm.
answered this question, will get on Instagram later and then convince myself that my baby is going to be autistic because I took Tylenol once during this pregnancy.
Right.
Like, you just,
Yeah.
we're at a constant battle with our own mind of like, you got to chill out.
That's why I golf, Sally.
Yeah.
That's why I golf.
That's why I cook.
There you go. Speaking of cooking, look at that. Segue Sally over here.
Really great on the transitions.
Familiar with Green Chef, Sally?
I am.
Green Chef is a CCOF certified meal kit company. They make eating well easy with plans to fit every lifestyle. Whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals, Green Chef offers a range of recipes to suit your preferences. I love Green Chef, Sally. Green Chef has taught me to be a chef, period. They've taught me to embrace the kitchen rather than like make buffalo chicken tacos every other night because they make it fun. They make it easy. They give you the tools to be your own boss, is what they really do because they deliver your meals in a little like bucket kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so you feel like you have gone to the grocery store. You feel like you have picked things out that are going to be healthy. And then you make the meals with easy to follow directions.
Yeah.
Want to know what's on their menu this week?
Yeah, I do. I'm actually need to this is on my to-do list. Make
Ooh.
sure that I pick out our menus for when we're postpartum.
Ooh,
'Cause
this
that's
is
my-
actually this is a great like
This is so easy because you don't have to put any thought into it.
Yeah.
You can just personally, I find cooking very therapeutic. And so like making the meal itself makes me feel better. And it does make me feel healthier, but it's really nice to have someone just be able to go on and click what I'm gonna want.
boom.
And
Yeah.
then I don't have to like sit here and have a newborn and try to think of like what I'm gonna go buy from the store.
Yeah, you don't have to make a list. You don't have to be like, well, that's gonna go bad if I buy this. How about some pesto chicken chopped salad?
Delightful.
Fig and prosciutto pita pizzas?
Wow, just in time for fall.
That sounds fantastic. Maybe have mushroom and ricotta frittata with pesto for breakfast. For brekkie.
Or breakfast for dinner.
For breakfast for dinner. I'm a big fan of the peanut chicken with udon noodles. A little Asian flair.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
I like their flatbreads a lot.
They're
very
fantastic.
easy and they always come out looking like restaurant quality.
100%. 100%. They deliver everything you need to eat clean the easy way this September. Feel your best with nutritionist approved recipes packed with clean ingredients that support your healthy lifestyle and taste great too. Here's the deal, Sally. Go to greenchef.com/60mail. Okay? And use code 60mail to get 60% off plus free shipping. Again, go to greenchef.com, Randy, /60mail and use code 60mail to get 60% off plus free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
You want
Next
me to
one?
do the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Am I a scumbag friend for expecting my other friends to reach out to me and make plans versus me reaching out to them to make plans? Spoiler alert, yes. For context, I probably have the most consistent and easiest schedule to deal with. I work the same hours every day, every week. It's your typical 8 to 5. I do not have kids, so there's no evening sports or kid events that take up my time. I also don't have a pet that I need to get home and feed or let out. I have hobbies, but they almost exclusively consist of golf or playing video games. Many of my friends have varying work schedules or have other after work responsibilities through the week than I do. I have noticed over the past couple of years that I have decreasingly been the one to reach out to friends to ask to hang out. I think when I used to be the one to reach out to friends, I got turned down a lot due to their schedules not lining up with mine. In my head, since I have the most stable schedule, it's just easier for everyone to figure out their own schedules and then reach out to me if they have available time, since I'm almost always available anytime after 5 p.m. Is this a dirtbag friend move? If it is, do you have any tips for me to initiate plans more with friends with more hectic schedules?
Mr. Consistency over here. This
Okay.
dude is routine.
He's routine, and his argument is that other people's lives are not routine.
So
they
why
can depend
get
on him.
beaten down by the constant no's because somebody has to let Jimmy outside or take Chelsea to the store or something like
Right. You're not a dirtbag, but this is lazy.
that. Yeah, it's you are arguably the most well-equipped person
Correct.
to initiate these things.
I agree.
And I understand that like getting no's back from friends is tiresome, but they also don't have to be 9-person hangs every week.
Right. Here's the deal. When you are out of college and you can't just text someone or walk down the hall and be like, hey, you want to have
Smoke
a beer
weed.
or smoke weed or do whatever.
Mhm.
your life becomes instantly more difficult because you have to like account for having a job, living 15 minutes away, etc. So, and or having friends that live out of town and then coordinating anytime they come in town. And people get butthurt about this because I think when they first leave college, everyone's like, I'm going to be such a good friend. I'm going to keep up with everyone. I'm going to call all my friends once a week and I'm just going to like text them and I'm going to know what's going on in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And then that dies down as everyone gets a life and like settles into their routine and gets a significant other or a dog or has a kid or has to work late and works 80 hours a week, etc. Life gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
To coming from someone who got upset about this kind of stuff, because I always felt like I was the one reaching out, know that probably every one of your other friends also feels like they're the one who is reaching out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this guy's just straight up acknowledging that he's not doing anything.
Be the initiator. If you're like, that can be your friend responsibility. What I would tip I would give is try to get something that's standing. Like
Right.
he mentions golf. Have a standing like Tuesday 9 in the afternoon after 5.
Yeah.
Or if you can't do that, have a standing video game. Like Randy has a great thing, right? You have a video game, a standing video game thing with your buddies,
It's
right?
Dungeons and Dragons. It's not a video game. It's tabletop role playing, Brett. Get it right.
Okay.
Tabletop role playing. Randy's
but
been no stranger to that.
That's part of becoming an adult is like learning that people, first of all, people are inherently selfish. So the reason that no one's reaching out to this guy, because they're like, oh, he's so consistent and we know he's always off after 5, because no one's thinking about you.
Because they have
they're dealing with their own shit
that you are blaming on not being able to hang out. They're doing that. Like it's you are in the position to be the guy that is knocking on the door. Like, can we get 3 people for the Thursday night NFL game? We're gonna have 3 beers and everybody's gonna go home.
Yeah. This again goes back to like every question could be answered like this. Anytime you're thinking about like, well, what is this person thinking? They are thinking about themselves. People are inherently selfish. All they care about is themselves.
And it's not even in a bad way necessarily.
No, they're just like people are thinking about their own shit that they have to do, their own work deadlines, their own grocery list, their own trips. Very rarely, and I know we're all trying to be good friends, but like even at this point in my life, I'm like, props to me for remembering people's birthdays at this point. And that's as you get older, you're like, don't give a shit that they didn't text me because like I did not remember their birthday.
Totally. Yeah. If I catch it
PM.
on somebody else's Instagram story, I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
Great.
Got it.
Thank God.
That's hitting it like a 40% clip.
Yeah. So in general, every single person in this room, in the world, etc., who has friends has got to let go of the notion of like a tit for tat. I ask you to do something, you need to ask me, etc.
The abacus system of like,
it's dumb.
Yeah. Points based.
I totally agree with you. Having standing stuff, especially when you all have different lives, it makes it a lot easier. We've realized like even hanging out with my sister and brother-in-law who have a child that's the same age as my child.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a pain in the ass to like, and they're like my first go-to of like, hey, you want to hang out? Like get the boys together.
I like what you did with the Wednesday swim, right?
Swim club.
Club.
Wednesday we go over there.
Can I get a t-shirt?
Yeah, we actually need to make some merch. That's a good idea.
Okay.
We go over there, we have dinner together, the kids swim, we catch up, and then we don't feel guilty if we like miss, if I have to say no to the Matt's El Rancho invite, because we're seeing each other once a week.
Yep.
The same goes for anytime you're trying to plan a group trip. Stop trying to make sure everyone can go. Pick a weekend with like one other person and then send out a group email and say, we're going to Cabo. Would you like to join us? This is the day we're thinking. Because once you start, hey, let's try to match up.
Yeah.
You just, hey, I'm available Friday for beers. You want to come?
I see it with bachelor parties a lot.
Yeah.
Where it's you want the 18 guys all there.
Yeah.
And
they're not all coming.
At this point, and maybe if we're 23 and everybody's got the one thing on their mind, it's easier. Like we're gonna go booze and play golf.
Yeah.
But now it's totally different. So it's like, I'll end this question by saying, no, you're not a scumbag friend, but treat it as an opportunity, as the routine friend to be able to get these people together that have crazier lives than you do.
And don't get discouraged when people tell you
Yeah,
no.
and
Just
don't-
keep
right.
trying.
Just keep trying.
No one's being like, God, Tom won't leave us alone. He
Fucking
just-
Lance back at it again with his,
Yeah,
his
like,
texts.
a lot of times they're gonna be like, "Oh, like great idea, let's hang out."
Yeah.
And then if you shoot them a text like, "Hey, let's start. You want to golf on Saturday?" And they'll be like, "Hey, can't, but like, what if we did something Tuesday night?"
Sure. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
otherwise, you wouldn't have even known that they were available Tuesday because you never reached out in the first place, and they probably have shit going on in their lives that they didn't realize they were free on Tuesday until Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about turning weekdays, school nights more into a hangout time versus trying to cram things in from like Thursday to Sunday?
I like that. I think as an adult, unless you have like a really stressful job or you
Mhm.
like have to. I mean, I used to not do that because I would get up early, and I
okay.
don't want to like be out
I'm not
till
talking
10.
like blowing rails at Dirty Bills until 2 a.m. I'm like literally one glass of
Yeah.
wine, and then your 64-minute hangout is like boom,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
I
agree.
really enjoy that on like a Tuesday or a Thursday or something like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be an all-nighter. Let's do the next one, Sal.
I think you're reading.
Oh, it's me. Hey, Brett and Sally. Question. Should I tell my girlfriend the reason her parents got a divorce? Here's the backstory. My girlfriend's parents got divorced about 10 years ago, and it was a bitter separation that they were both holding on to. And turns out that her father left her mother. I recently met with her father to ask for his blessing on proposing to his daughter. It went great, but during our conversation, he proceeds to tell me all about why his marriage failed and his views on why he did what he did. He also expressly said that this conversation was only between us, and he did not want anything shared. I won't go into the details, but it was full of points that my girlfriend is not aware of, or she has never told me about it, and answered some questions she had always wondered about. She has always said she's unsure of the root cause of the divorce, and her dad filled me in about said details. Since my girlfriend does not know these details that she's always wondered about, do I tell her and help remove this weight/curiosity that she has had for years, or do I keep my future father-in-law's trust and keep what he said between us? Any help you can give on this conundrum would be greatly appreciated. I have a pretty concrete opinion here.
Okay, go for it.
I don't think you should tell her, but I think you should encourage her to talk to her father about it. I think you should not even like teasing her with, I know this information, you should go try to find it out. But I don't think you can be the one to tell her something that her dad needs to tell her.
Yeah.
And it's on him to do so. And I think he should obviously tell his daughter what's happened. And I think his daughter should be encouraged to ask. And I don't think you can be the one to tell her that.
That's great advice because I was going to say he should tell her.
I figured you would.
But once you said that, I was like, that's a great point. I think here's how I feel about it. I do think she obviously deserves to know. It sounds
Mhm.
like maybe the dad cheated on the mom, probably.
Something along those lines. I'm
Right.
not speculating, but
Like, does he have a second family? Like, you know?
could. I don't know.
I also think though that it's important. This is a different situation than like your friend finding out and not telling you versus like
Yeah, this is a
this is
family.
like this is like you
heart. Yeah,
you are going to be intimately involved with this person and her family for the rest of her life
correct.
because you're going to get married to her. So I think that I wish that he would have had the foresight when the dad was out, like talking to him to be like, hey, you've said some stuff. I appreciate you confiding in me, but you need to tell your daughter this. Because
Yeah.
honestly, starting a relationship, starting a marriage with that kind of weight and secrecy and guilt of keeping the secret is not healthy.
No.
And it sucks because now this guy has all of that. It's not like he asked for it or he did anything specific. He just got told something and then was like, oh, well, shit. Like,
And it's not like I don't even think you're really breaching trust with your fiance here. Like you were told something and,
right,
and you're not like implicitly hiding it. You're
right.
just maybe you start trying to encourage her to ask about it. Like when she brings up something about wondering, just say, why don't we ask him? Or like,
Yeah.
I'll go with like, some sort of like team effort here. But I think it needs to be between the dad and the daughter,
Yeah.
personally.
I agree with that. I think it's not this guy's responsibility to like lay all the facts out that he wasn't there, for.
Correct. Yeah.
But I also, is there any scenario where like you have to go back to the dad and be like, I think you need to talk to your daughter.
Yeah. If she asks, do you know?
Yeah.
And you have to like, you don't want to lie, but you don't want to say like, yeah, by the way, here's everything about it.
Yeah.
You can say, I've I don't even know how you approach if she asks you directly, um, except being like, you need to talk to your dad
Yeah.
and encouraging her to do so and trying to encourage him to tell.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
maybe
know
that's
what the
an angle,
relationship
too.
with the dad. It doesn't sound like it's like super strong.
Yeah.
But
Maybe encourage, just say, hey, your daughter's been wondering about this for a long time.
and
I
it's
don't
hard
think
for us to like enter a marriage when she doesn't
Yeah.
know why her parents' marriage imploded.
Yeah. And it's one of those things like your daughter's going to forgive you or love you, or it's not going to ruin the
Yeah.
family. It's just like she needs to know.
Yeah.
Like you had the confidence to tell me. I'm not going to be the one to share that information, but encouraging him to say, "Hey, it's going to be better for everybody involved if you are able to do this."
Yeah. That's messy. I don't
It's
envy
tough
you.
for sure. What's not tough is liquid IV. It's just straightforward, Sally. Proper functional hydration is essential, and Liquid IV is the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. You know that?
I did not know that.
Their hydration multiplier is one product you're missing out on in your daily routine. Use it first thing in the morning before a workout, when you feel run down in the afternoon, or after a night out with friends. Liquid IV is your partner in crime, Sally. Perhaps during a BH. Pop some Liquid IV. I don't think that's anything to do with that, but
Actually, Braxton Hicks do have to do with being dehydrated. You have them more often.
how about that? With just one stick, you can hydrate real life 2 times faster than water alone. Plus, get essential vitamins and 3 times the electrolytes as leading sports drinks. They also come in 12 delicious, refreshing flavors to keep your hydration routine exciting. Randy, you could be happy to know. In my car, I got a big old bag of Liquid IV for you, buddy.
Oh, heck yes.
What's your favorite flavor?
Concord grape,
Concord-
for sure.
It's also mine.
The
Randy.
deFries family messes with some Concord grape,
It's
too.
amazing, but my roommate just goes through it. He's a first responder, and in these Texas summers, he's going through so much of it. So we
Wow.
need some back at our place.
Guess what? Got some sugar-free in the mix, too.
Ooh, some of that white peach.
White peach, Randy.
Oh,
Sugar-free white peach. I am a big fan of using it mostly in the afternoon when I'm just feeling down, out, need a kick. Their energy, their matcha blend is great. Morning after a night out, just get some electrolytes back in the system. Really good situation there, Sally. Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Grab your Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MAILIN at checkout. That's 20% off anything when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code MAILIN at liquidiv.com. Next one, Sally.
This one's me. Okay. Hey, I met up with an ex/friends with benefits this week. We haven't seen each other in 2 years and have had some insane chemistry, but she is engaged. Like, I would be upset if I was her fiance by the way we were dancing. I always considered her the one that got away. We never lived close enough to each other to have actually dated. She was telling me she's going to invite me to her wedding. Do I ever tell her how I feel or do I let that shit go?
Oh boy. I have two scenarios.
Okay.
Scenario one, you have missed the boat. You have missed your chance. Have a nice life. She's very much engaged, very much doing her thing. And you just never told her your feelings or whatever it might have been. And you need to let it go.
Yeah.
Scenario two, you basically have however long until she's married to tell her something.
Yeah.
Um, I don't necessarily know whether to advocate for either one. I don't know enough about this relationship. I don't know what does the friends with benefits mean? What does the X mean? Like, did you date? Was it years long? Is it, I
Right.
need more context here. Is it truly, would you have dated if you lived in the same place? Was there a future? I need to know more before I can confidently say whether I would even think about saying something here.
I agree. Normally I take the or actually a few years ago I would have taken the like tell her,
Hmm.
live the romance novel life.
Yeah, there's like the Disney version. And
Yeah. Live the like the rom-com version where you show up and you like sweep her off her feet and whatever.
mhm.
I think the cynical part of me is like, do you want to invest a future in someone who's engaged and then we'll just leave her fiance for someone else
Yeah,
after?
I didn't even think of that angle.
Like that sounds awful because obviously it's probably happened in the past and
Sure.
worked out great. But again, the vibe I'm getting from this question is that she kind of was the one that got away and he maybe had more feelings for her than she ever had for him. So I think telling her is only going to give her more power to like keep you on the hook. You know what I'm saying? Like a girl that's engaged, that's apparently grinding with you.
I'll just say this sounds like a wedding they both were at.
And then
It
it's like,
got
I'm going to invite you to the wedding,
yeah.
is kind of probably getting off on the fact that you are into her
Okay.
and that like she's still got it because she's probably not probably she's in love with her fiance, gonna marry him, but like having attention from another guy's never hurt anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So uh, I think that many people have been in relationships or situations like this, usually when you're younger, I feel like, because people like attention and being told or being treated like
Mm.
oh, I'm into you.
Maybe
We
she's a
used to have
redhead.
thing. Maybe she's a redhead. Uh it always feels nice. You know what I'm saying?
Of
So
course, yeah.
that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this, but I agree with you. I don't think without knowing the full context, like if you were only friends with benefits, you absolutely cannot
hey,
say
move on.
anything.
Right. If you were maybe a multi-year ex and it's like I don't maybe the only reason it never worked was because you were in separate
Right.
place, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
But like people are exes for a reason.
Sure,
You know, like
totally.
why did it not work out?
Mhm.
And why I think too, sometimes people conflate like they confuse the whole like, oh, would you be feeling this way about her? Feel like you needed to say something if she wasn't engaged and gonna get married, you know?
Oh, I see. Is there like
Like, is this creating
pressure on
pressure?
like a more immediate, like, would you just let it simmer and sit
Right.
otherwise? And the
Or is
answer
this
is
something you've been
yes.
feeling for years and then you had the opportunity to tell her while y'all were grinding at a wedding, but you didn't?
Mhm.
But like, or is this something you didn't think about and then you saw each other were dancing inappropriately, then you're like, actually, I should probably like I really liked her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally do.
There's just a lot of factors here that
A
I
lot
don't
of
feel like I can
variables.
like I'm leaning towards don't tell her and don't go to the wedding.
Yeah.
But
I'm truly down the
I
middle
don't know.
without knowing more.
I don't know more context. Tell us
Yeah,
more.
I don't even know, like, how do you
Give
even
us a follow-up.
do you just text her, be like, "Hey," like, if you were to tell her, Or do you have to do like, I don't know. I don't even
You
know
got
how
to
you do
call
that.
for that kind of thing.
Make a call.
Yeah.
Give us more context.
Okay. Talking about context, the next question gave us almost too much context.
We have a lot of context here. So I pared it down a little bit, but it's still a little bit of a long one. Please forgive me. Dear Brett, Sally, and whomstever is filling in for somebody. Call that Randy. I moved to Phoenix about 4.5 years ago. Fell in quickly with one of my coworkers and got indoctrinated into her friend group of people who went to ASU, townies, etc. There was a girl in the core group that had been in a very long and bad relationship. My coworker wanted to set us up, so we went on a date. That went fine, but during the course of the date, I found some things I'm not a fan of, like hard drug use. She said she has done so many shrooms, it gave her permanent dyslexia. And I had to read the small print for her. Is that a thing, Sally? Doing too many mushrooms so you become dyslexic?
I don't think so.
She had a lack of professional ambition, etc. Regardless, we parted ways, not wanting to explore that any further, and it was amicable. Or so I thought. Over the years, we were friendly to each other, gone on multiple trips with this friend group, and even hung out one-on-one this summer without incident, for the most part. Occasionally, there will be some big incident, mainly when we've all been drinking, i.e. her yelling that I have a small penis at the top of her lungs outside a venue waiting for an Uber, which she hasn't seen, or even saying the N-word when I was FaceTiming my friend and then acting like he's trying to cancel her and she was the victim when he was upset. Whenever she's been drinking, even if I'm not there, she will harass me or go in the group chat trying to start a fight, saying that I'm constantly making fun of her or text me repeatedly to figure it the fuck out. My friends in the group have tried to tell her I'm not singling anybody out to no avail. And if she texts me directly, anything I respond to that's not along the lines of, "You're right, I've had an evil agenda this whole time, I'm a villain," I get told I'm gaslighting. The reason I brought up the date earlier is because she mentioned it to her friend earlier this month out of the blue. The only situation I can think of is to block her for the time being so I'm not constantly harassed, but obviously this does not solve the problem of her being a core part of the friend group and vice versa and seeing each other in person. How do I navigate this? Was blocking a good idea, or will that only exacerbate the issue? Any insight would be helpful. What,
Okay.
as a, I just think of like, outside like an Olympic, like an Olympic training center. There's all the flags of the countries. Just picture this girl, and they're just all red.
Yeah.
It's just like red flag nation.
Okay. With all due respect
What
To-
the fuck?
to this person.
Yeah.
You honestly also seem like you're dramatic too.
Oh, he's playing into this.
He's probably not. Okay.
Okay.
It sounds like this girl has some issues.
Yeah.
She cleared lots of red flags. She was in a bad relationship. She apparently does so many shrooms she can't read anymore. Would you call shrooms a hard drug?
No.
Okay.
I also, I've never. I don't think that's anywhere true.
She just kind of sounds like she's trashy and a hot mess.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
He sounds like he might have gone on a date with her and then maybe she caught feelings and has like
I was gonna
since-
say.
It sounds to me like she probably resents him a little bit.
There's
and
a little
then-
like Helga Pataki
Yes.
from Hey Arnold. Like,
yeah.
I'm harassing you because I either liked you or do like you, and you didn't like me back.
Okay. I don't know how much to glean from this question, but first of all, if there's any at all, anything you're doing, this being the person who wrote the question, that has confused her further post date. So I'm talking about, did you accidentally make out one time? Have you exchanged flirty text messages?
Have you done shrooms together?
Have you done shrooms together? Maybe hanging out one-on-one's not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's just full blown crazy and like is fully in love with you and you're not doing any of those things. But if there's a chance that you are, I'm not trying to blame you. Stop doing that immediately. Like, absolutely take out any sort of romantic notion she could ever have in her head. Okay.
When you were in your pining phase, Sally, would you ever scream that the person you were pining over has a small penis while waiting for an Uber outside a bar?
No.
Okay.
But when you are having unrequited love feelings for someone and they scorn you,
Mhm.
it's very easy to get drunk and shit talk them to your friends.
Hell hath no fury, Sally.
Yes. She sounds immature. Unfortunately, the best way to deal with immature people or people who are crazy is to fully ignore them. Do I
Yes.
think blocking her is the answer? Uh
I say no because if she is truly a part of this friend group and you are truly a part of this friend group, that is only going
That's
to
going to create more drama.
correct that, like he mentioned, exacerbate the issue. Yes, that will exacerbate the issue. This is just to me like kind of a soft mute.
Yeah. I would just ignore everything she says. Honestly, if you are acting with the best intentions, you're just going about your life and she's being crazy, people are going to see that, right? Like
Correct.
people,
Yeah.
your friends already know that she's crazy. That's why I say if there's any part of you that has exchanged a flirty text message with her, like been grinding with her at the dance floor at Dirty Bills,
Mm-hmm.
done shrooms with her, etc. Stop that now because that's only going to confuse her more. And it's going to lead your friends to be like, well, you kind of asked for it. Okay. But
Mhm.
if truly, if none of that's going on or you stop all of that, just, yeah, slow mute. Just ignore.
Just
Like,
slow mute and
honestly, I would start removing myself from situations she's in.
sure, yeah.
I know that kind of goes against like you're trying to like continue your friendships with the rest of the group, but there may be times where like y'all are all out together and she's getting drunk where you're just like, I gotta go home. Right? Because
Yeah.
like think about what's gonna happen if you ever bring a girl around,
Oh God.
you know? So the next few months of your life need to be making it very clear that you want nothing to do with her,
Mhm.
and not in a rude way and not in a dramatic way and not in a like text her back. I wouldn't even.
Not like it like not turning your back to her if she's like, "Hey, how are you?"
Right.
Like
I would
just
just, if she starts texting you shit to figure it the fuck out or whatever, I wouldn't even respond. And
Mhm.
you don't have to not ghost her. Just be like, okay, Sarah, I'm
Yeah.
really sorry if I did something that hurt your
Yeah.
feelings.
Just kind of like and it's not like a defeated attitude, but it's just
Right.
like the guns are away. Like
Yeah.
the
You
shields
don't
are
have to be
off.
an
Like
asshole. You don't have to
yeah.
prove a point. All you have to do is like either say, I'm sorry that you feel this way,
Yeah.
or just literally ignore her. Just fully ignore her. Don't be sarcastic. Don't give her the
I was gonna
K.
say he mentioned in some of the stuff that I took out of this question, mentioned being like, yeah, I can be an asshole or something along the lines of like, yeah, I can fire back in the group text. Just don't
Just
do that.
don't.
Yeah.
Just stop. It's not worth it because honestly, everyone else that's in the group is just watching the drama unfold and they probably enjoy it.
Encourage it.
Right.
Like
I'm sure some
yeah.
of the guys think it's funny.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. It's so much better to just have the drama out of your life. So stop engaging.
Mhm.
If she's at it, if y'all are all out and she's starting to get really drunk, just be like, just remove yourself. And you don't have to be dramatic about it. Be like, I gotta go home. Sarah's just losing her shit.
Right.
Just
Hey,
excuse
I'm gonna
yourself
go
and go
home.
home.
Mhm.
And then and be the low drama person because everyone will see that and respect you for it. And it's only going to make her look crazier. And then she won't have anything to hold against you anymore.
Put the pressure on her via the group effort.
Yeah.
By being a pacifist. And
Because
just
if you're a pacifist and you're just being Switzerland and she's acting like a psycho, like people
Nazi
are
Germany,
just,
perhaps.
or Vladimir Putin, they're going to be like, well, this girl is
Crazy.
bonkers.
Yeah.
But like up until now, they've had an excuse. They're like, well, he's kind of being a dick to her,
Mhm.
you know?
Totally. Easy. Just put the swords away and see how
And
how
it sucks because you're all in the same friend group, but you can still hang out. And then the
Yeah.
second that she starts acting up, just remove yourself.
pacify.
Yeah.
Last one, Sally. How to throw a successful Halloween party. Food, drinks, games, ideas, and more. Oh boy. Talking Halloween.
Wow.
As the proprietor
Did you put this question in for yourself
did
to
not.
just brag
No,
about your
no.
own?
The Merriman Spooky Monster Bash? Why would I ever brag about that?
About it? You did.
I
know
did
you-
not.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
Sure.
Tell us all about your successful Halloween party.
I'm just saying the key to a Halloween party is ample food, ample drinks. Really, any party.
Yeah.
You don't want people to be
Any
wanting
holiday,
for
any
anything.
themed party.
Any themed party.
Well, any party, but
Yeah.
I think when you have a themed party, it's important to have one themed cocktail if you can swing it.
Yep.
Because that makes it fun. It's like kind of like, oh, we have a whatever. I don't know. What's like a typical Halloween drink?
Spooky blood punch.
Oh, you have the dry ice and stuff. I'm more of a Christmas party gal, so I'm like thinking back to like we would always do like spiced rum, apple cider,
Or like
a
a
peppermint
Christmas
schnapps, hot chocolate, or a
Christmas sangria,
Yeah.
perhaps. Yeah.
a Christmas sangria, a poinsettia. I think that's that's like a mimosa but with cranberry juice.
I just know it as the plant.
Yeah. Anyway, having a little batch cocktail. Probably it sucks, but people get excited about that shit. Who
Can't
cares?
go wrong with batch cocktails. Last year we did like blood punch. Ooh. And it was just basically jungle juice.
Yeah.
It was like vodka, rum, fruit punch, Hawaiian punch.
Yeah.
Randy made it actually.
And then you BYOB or as the host, you get a ton of beer, lots of wine.
Semantic stuff. Game ideas, it's tough to get everybody around we're going to play charades, have a pong table that can either be flip cupped or stack cupped or beer ponged or beer dyed, just kind of like off in the distance that people can congregate around. Have a central location where people have access to food, drinks, and the flow is good. Decorate to your heart's content.
Decoration is the biggest part.
I agree.
I think so too.
I think
but
that's setting the scene. Because you don't want to enter a Halloween party that is just like a costume party in someone's living room that they have one jack-o'-lantern and you're like,
those fake spider webs and just some green and purple lights go such a long way.
They do.
I totally agree. Because again, nothing is more uncomfortable than showing up in a costume to full bright lights. On you in the kitchen.
Turn the light. That goes for many, many parties. Turn the lights off. Light your house somewhere. I don't even turn my lights on. I just have uplit stuff in general.
Right, but
turn the lights off.
Have some jack-o'-lanterns, have some string lights.
Yes.
Set the scene. Don't let people walk into your house in full bright lights.
Another thing with a party, I like providing. I think I had 5 or 6 bottles of cheap wine and a bottle of tequila.
Yeah,
if people really want fucking good stuff, have them bring it. Provide some light beers. Provide some one of something. But if you can BYOB it and people are going to understand, they're not going to be like, ooh, I have to bring booze to a Halloween party.
Well,
no.
Most adults at this point, if they're picky about alcohol, are going to just bring their own stuff.
Yeah.
I agree. Have some base liquor, some vodka, some tequila, a couple mixers. But you're not in charge of having a full blown cocktail set up.
Mm-hmm. Maybe enlist the help of a friend to decorate, perhaps.
And maybe they'll show up 3 or 4 hours after they said they were going to.
Huh? Who would have thought?
Was Demon Dome last year?
Demon Dome was last year.
Dome.
I don't even know what I'm going to do this year. I can't top that one. I've been actually getting served a lot of just do it yourself Halloween decorations on TikTok. So if you can get on that algorithm, they just do a lot of dollar store decorations.
Yeah.
Really? I saw a really cool chandelier made for $15.
My house is your canvas if you'd like to.
Wow.
I thought about getting the 12-foot skeleton to put in my living room.
You know that there's a Facebook group for the people who are owners of the 12-foot skeleton.
I may have to join.
It's 60,000 strong.
My only problem is I don't have anywhere to put it when it's not. It's my apartment. I just have a unique apartment that has the highest ceiling.
Well, you could just decorate the skeleton year round.
The skeletons like my Christmas tree.
Yeah.
That's weird. I can't do that.
Do you want me to show up with our newborn for
Oh,
the
absolutely.
merriment?
I would encourage you to have your newborn be a part of your costume. Perhaps like a football, and you're the
No, I think Bane and Fritz. We're coming up with some costume ideas. Fritz
Okay.
isn't like opinionated enough right now to like pick out his costume, but he also is opinionated enough to care what I put him in. So he might literally only go as a soccer player because that's the only thing he'll wear now is just
the Man United
the
jersey.
Man United kit.
I thought about doing something. Let me get your reaction live on air here. For the Merriman Spooky Monster Bash, setting a theme for costumes. So, for example, on the invite, it would be like costume theme is like music videos.
I don't like it.
I'm kind of I'm like
the reason I say no is because it's Halloween and people, especially if you have it the weekend before Halloween, since Halloween's on like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
If you were having like a random earlier Halloween party, then you could maybe get that going.
Yeah.
But you also are like, then that's probably forcing people to have two different costumes because if you're having it the weekend before Halloween, people are also going to be going to other Halloween shit.
Sure.
That's exactly my point. Is like some people have their Halloween costume picked out like right now.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. No theme.
No theme.
Totally fine.
But if you want to do some random party throughout the rest of the year and do that, that'd be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like sometime like May.
As a birthday party.
It's gonna be May. It's NSYNC or Backstreet Boys.
NSYNC,
Okay.
who had a reunion last night. Yeah, I don't think you force a theme on anybody. Although I will say that one of the greatest Halloween parties I've ever witnessed, unfortunately not yours, Brett, was my little brother's roommate turned their entire house into Hogwarts, and they had a full-blown Harry Potter themed party. It was like bananas. They had like the Great Hall with the candles hanging. They had moving pictures. He had a cocktail book, that like a potions book, that then he referenced all these ingredients. So to make the cocktail, you had to go back to the reference. It took him like months, and it was one of them. And so everyone dressed up as Harry Potter characters. One girl dressed like an owl, and she would deliver messages to other people at the party. It was hilarious.
That's fantastic.
Like the entire house was a Hogwarts. It was unbelievable.
Damn.
It was also like, I think it was during COVID and Zach had a bunch of time, but like it took him like 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
I even
So
decorating my
much
place.
commitment.
Sounds Randy. Shouts to James. That took all day. And it's just like it's not that most of it was the food. I made like 9 appetizers, but I love the Hogwarts thing.
Yeah.
I got a Halloween game going back to my grade school. Do some toilet paper mummy races.
How do you do that?
You ever do that? Oh, it's 2 people. One person holds like a piece of toilet paper, and you take a roll and you try to wrap their whole body up. And whoever can, like, you do face offs. So it's teams of 2. They try to wrap each other up.
Gotcha.
You can also always like hand out prizes for like best costume and stuff.
Yeah, I think
Best couple costume, best singular.
Yep. You know what Barrett did last year that I loved was bring a ring light. So it was sort of a photo.
I forgot he did.
He did like a kind of a photo booth situation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that
You
was
had a
cool.
great costume last year,
No, I
right?
didn't.
didn't you? Or maybe I'm thinking of something else.
No.
When were you Pretty Woman?
Pretty
Except for
Woman.
every single day. Boom, boom.
Oh.
Gotcha.
I was Pretty Woman at our work Halloween.
Okay.
But you did
Party.
come to
You were at the Merriman
Bash.
Spooky Monster Bash last year, right?
Yeah, I think Will and I were like bullfighters or something stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't think of a costume and we were like, screw it. I was gonna dress up as a bull and he was gonna be the bullfighter or the running of the bulls guy. And then I got too lazy to go get a bull costume. So I was like, I'm just gonna do the same thing.
Damn.
No, Alyssa came as Shania Twain in the full
Yes.
leopard print get up.
So good. There's been a couple really memorable costumes from the Merriman Spooky Monster Bash. Randy, obviously. Dave, when he came as Armand from
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a great one.
Klein had a good one. Him and Lexi were like
G.I. Joe.
it was like not Indiana Jones. It was like Tomb Raider, Laura Croft. or
Yeah,
something
I
like
remember that.
Fulton was a lamp. That was fantastic.
Honestly, one of my favorite couples costumes, and I don't even know if this it's been too long now, but one of my friends in Houston her husband went as Dexter and she went as one of the victims. Remember Dexter, the show? And she was like saran wrapped.
I've seen one of those before. They're
Wow.
good.
Honestly, it was a great costume. But that was like 10 years ago when like Dexter mattered.
I'm in full think about it mode. I don't know what I'm going to be.
Same.
MGK to.
I think there's a chance that I'm just the mom from Home Alone and Fritz and Bane are the Wet Bandits.
That's a solid one.
That's good.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Oh, fridge space. I'll throw that in there too. Make sure that you have plenty of fridge space for
Oh,
people to
yeah,
put their
have
drinks.
clean your
coolers,
fridge.
space.
Coolers,
Yeah.
ice, get your bathrooms, it's party stuff. It's how do you have a successful Halloween party? Decorate really well, have a bunch of booze, and have snacks.
Good playlist too.
Oh, yeah. And you can kind of because I consciously did this last year. I started the night off with like Halloween-y stuff. And then when people are just kind of, it's
And
too loud, then
change it
you
to get low.
doot, 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 doot.
Yeah.
Get low. Anyway, that's going to do it for us today, Sally. Do you have a good time?
I had a great time. No contractions.
No
Yeah.
BHs? Let's ride.
Stop saying BHs. It sounds
Please subscribe, rate 5 stars, review, tell a friend about the show. Hit the hotline number 888-362-MAIL. That's 888-362-6245. Or you can write in at the link in the Twitter bio at Mail In Podcast or in this episode description. Sally, where can the people find you?
Sally deFries on Instagram and Twitter.
I am Brett Merriman at Schmerriman on both those platforms. If you have any Halloween costume ideas, please let me know. See you guys next week.
Bye.